Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, February 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a Time for Change call this Wednesday night. We're going to talk about some things that are going on out there. Kind of set the slate straight as far as the financial group situations and stuff. When, there's a lot of people that do surface emotional understanding and stuff. And make statements and say things superficially, but they believe that it's deep within. It's still ego-mind controlled. How many of us look at this universe as exactly as it should be? That we believe it's exactly as it should be? And we know that the only imperfections that exist are those created by our minds. And that means that everything is either a misguided projection or a highly creative interpretation, a decorated perception of perfection forming in our brains. When we meditate on this simple truth, it ends up liberating us from many years of suffering. Now, the ego mind would say, if you made this statement to yourself, if you said everything is perfect as it is, right? All imperfections that I see are imaginary. The ego mind would say, everything's not as perfect as it is, or could be. It can be a lot better. This is the ego mind's interjection because of its insecurity. And any imperfections that any of us see about ourselves, about out there, are imaginary. Now, in the event that we decide, any of us, that we can dwell on this concept and hold on to it for even a few minutes, we will notice that we will start to feel lighter, have more inner clarity, and a sense of spiritual freedom throughout our day. It's doing it, understand that, because so many people are either in yesterday or tomorrow. Rushing here, rushing there, hurry to do this, hurry to do that, worried about this, stressing and fearing about that, because of the fact that they're in yesterday or tomorrow. But when we abide in this understanding, right, this understanding opens up 1,001 doorways to the gods that we are in the body. In these bodies, to the divine. We are the divine. We will automatically begin living a life that is empowered, awakened, and feels much more harmonious. Only we can do it. See, all this outside stuff is not going to do it for us. You ask yourself that honest question, has it ever done anything for you? Not really. Not really. We can liberate ourselves from 99% of our daily suffering just by respecting this one simple truth. So we get curious about it. Then we try to understand its deeper meaning and explore the feeling how everything actually is always perfect in this universe, exactly as it is. It's when it's kind of like when the ego mind pushes us and guides us into getting involved with it. to fall into it. Question. Disagree. Oh, no. Not everything. There's nothing that's absolutely perfect all the time. Okay? Now, the longer we can feel into this experience and assimilate it into our body, the more blissed out we will feel every day along the way. It's a good thing to know that as we enlighten ourselves, we're also helping to enlighten everyone else on this planet. And it doesn't matter. When you look at the outside world, when any of us look at the outside world, it occupies us. We get distracted. We look at this and look at that, and we go out there. And no matter what is happening, outer world, any kind of relationship, the internet, our family, at work, etc., realizing that everything around us is happening for one very specific reason. And that is to awaken you to your spiritual nature. This means now a lot of people see, because the ego mind are guarded, very withdrawn, but don't seem to be. They could be on the surface, bubbly and nice and everything, but underneath. And this means opening you, healing you, making you more conscious, alive, and available to the living flow of energy that is perpetually moving through you. Everything in this universe is happening for you, for all of us. A lot of people say, oh, no, it's happening. Yeah, this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? It isn't happening for you. We're all here, and I believe that we know that to a certain extent, to wake up and remember that who we truly are is an omnipotently powerful, infinite spiritual being inside these bodies, having an occasional, limited, time-bound experience of being human. Most of us on the planet are what? We tend to lean toward the body, and leave who we truly are alone, which is the spirit within the body, the God, the soul. When we discover, and we will eventually, all of us will, our spiritual foundation, the experience that we are all-powerful, super-manifesting beings becomes profoundly evident and obvious. This universe blasts synchronicities at us, unveiling the truth that we are all one unified being, connected to the same cosmic source. Our mission here is to believe this, and knowing this truth allows us to know ourselves as divine. Many of us believe that we are just human. That's it. When, in truth, we are not just human. We have the God-given manifesting power within us to create, attract, and magnetize anything we can dream of. Manifesting is our basic nature. Notice that whatever you place your focus or attention upon is what you manifest into your life. If you focus on thoughts that make you happy, empowered, abundant, and free, you will attract more people and situations that mirror those positive, joyful experiences back to you. And a question arises all the time, well then why is it that most of us aren't doing this? Why is it the opposite? Why do we fight the life? Why do we fight things? Why do we fight ourselves? Why are we hard on ourselves? Why do we lower our vibrational frequencies? If we know this part of it, and I'll say this 1 billion times, we truly are much more powerful than the mind will ever comprehend. There's no way it can. We are such powerful beings that there really is nothing we cannot manifest into this physical dimension. Okay, so we know our minds are too small, too limited, too conceptual, and too narrow-minded to digest the immensity of who we are. Okay, so we know that. Only the heart is big enough to tap into the immensity of our being, and still it will fall short. Our spiritual essence is without borders in time, space, or energy. We are timeless, metaphysical, beyond physical, magicians, sailing through an eternal ocean of time and energy. We are one with the infinity. This meeting is the unveiling of our true spiritual essence. And by taking responsibility for this meeting inside, our real power begins to emerge in our lives. We naturally begin attracting and creating everything our heart was dreaming about. Now, how many of us on this planet, do you believe, know that there is an unlimited source of energy, creativity, love, lightness, and compassion inside? And again, eventually, all of us will discover this. We immediately start experiencing how truly enjoyable this life actually is. This makes it so much easier to surrender to the magical manifesting mindset. We see our real mission here is to be stress-free, to deeply fall in love with our lives, and to trust this world so deeply that we truly let go of all our fears. With nothing to fear, we become a brilliant light for everyone on this earth to enjoy. We know that some people in this society may be completely unable to relax and trust this life. There's no reason for any of us to be offended by them. They are deeply unaware of their infinite spiritual nature. They need us to help them find it again. Most people live in some energetic poverty because they are simply stuck in their minds, afraid of being responsible for the immensity of their life. This spiritual connection is so huge that they would rather keep safe, holding on to their limited excuses of what they cannot do, instead of facing the fact that they are actually creating everything in their lives. The spiritually awake person is the guiding light here, to show others how to see their way through the dark. And this isn't religion. Nowhere, it's not even connected to it at all. It's not selling somebody or convincing somebody of something. It's not that way. It's by how you are around them. And as Ramana Maharishi quoted, when one's own true nature is known, then there is being without beginning, an end. Being without beginning and end. It is unbroken awareness and bliss. Now, once we become aware of our unlimited spiritual nature, it's not our job to push this idea on anyone. They may not be ripe or ready to receive it quite yet. And those are the people that you come across right in the now, and moment to moment. You're kind of tempted to test the waters, right? So maybe you test the waters a little bit. And because of the response, you immediately know that they're just not ripe or ready to receive it quite yet. Humans have been asleep to this understanding for so many centuries that each person needs something karmically specific to them. In other words, something quite radical and monumental to shake them from this ancient deep slumber. The time will come when everyone's soul will awaken to this understanding. Everything always happens at the perfect time. So do not start bothering others about waking up. Just be responsible for opening up deeper into your spiritual connection. Be silent, conscious, and loving with others. Do what inspires you every day. Focus on how you can step more fully into this manifesting mindset in your community. Take on this spiritual responsibility just for you. And I've said this many times, it's all about you. It's about how you feel about yourself. It's about how much do you love yourself. It's about how much hurt and pain and sorrow are you carrying, and how much of this does anything good for you at all. It's about how you surrender to things with yourself, how you let go. Anger, revenge, frustration, guilt, and let it all go. It's about how much confidence and faith and trust you have in yourself and this universe. And no matter what happens in our lives, period, doesn't matter. It's good to know that a great conscious universal source is always on our side. And what I mean by this is that our judgmental, painful, and emotionally challenging experiences that we're having and having are the fertilizer for our soul's growth. See, because many get programmed and conditioned into believing that the body is it. That's it. Okay? Nothing could be further from the truth. Each challenge for any of us, and I think we've experienced it so many times, believe so. Each challenge pushes us deeper inside ourselves. So and now it may not be at the time, of course, like we're not, skipping to the loo. But in the long run, each challenge does push us deeper inside ourselves. So we develop the gift to overcome it. Our problems stretch us. They expand our boundaries of who we think we are, so that we dive deeper inside more than ever before. Whenever something of this world frightens any of us, we instantly trust this experience is a gift from grace to help step up our vibration and consciousness. Use everything to help you wake up and realize this exciting divine truth today, in the now. And when we can finally come to the understanding since everyone is one's own self, whoever does whatever to whomever is doing it only to himself. No matter what it is, say, no matter what it is. Many people will fool themselves and say, oh, no, that, and the ego mind comes, oh, no, that's not true. That's all a bunch of spiritual hoobie-dooby. And as we wake up, because every one of us will eventually wake up, we realize that we are all so deeply interconnected to one another. There truly is no separation from me and you. But there is limiting ideas in the mind that come between us. There is just pure energy and consciousness that pervades everything and everyone. Now, when enough people realize this experience of oneness, we will all start living from our most enlightened state of being. This is when we will manifest true world peace. All it takes is 1 out of about 8.5 people. That's all it takes. On this earth, who have found spiritual inner peace within themselves right now. This will start a trend that will take over the rest of the population. It's an inevitability. It is just a matter of time before we are all living at a higher consciousness. Visualize this for this world. Everyone is relaxing, shifting into a more trusting, open, receptive, peaceful, caring, and joyful way of being in their communities. Our thoughts are very powerful. And when we focus them in great numbers in a certain direction, miraculous manifestations begin to occur. And when enough people are seeing this for our future, it will exponentially spread like a wave throughout the minds and hearts of billions more. And one day, we will reach a time on this planet when this huge enlightening shift will move through every heart, every mind, and every soul on our planet. And one might say, what about this? What about this? We have no control over this. We have no here. How can this be? Believe in thee. And it's very interesting and ironic that experiments have been done, as I said, over and over and over again, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. You're looking at something in one direction, okay? And molecules appear, atoms appear. They appear as you look at something in one direction. But as you turn away and look over here, they disappear. And then they build where you're focused on. That's how powerful every one of us are. Now, we've been taught, well, I believe that a lot of us know this. It isn't an anger thing, I get revenge because I was taught and programmed this way. No, it's absolutely spectacular that we've come this far out of our slumber and began to choose, every one of us on our own, to wake up. Because we know that we no longer wish to be in the fog. It's the God within us. Do you ask yourself that question in the quiet time of this meditation? How much longer do you wish to be in the fog? And this is always being gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Why do you have to be that way with yourself all the time? You really don't care to lower yourself in the lower vibrational frequencies. Because you know what that will do. You know that you're that powerful that if you lower your vibrational frequency because of anger, because of stress, because of worry, because of fear, you're going to continually attract more of it. You will. It's an inevitability. So you begin to understand that that's why so many of us are skewed, because we're not awake. We're asleep. And we're in these little pools, warm, and it's comfortable. But everything that's been programmed into us and conditioned us isn't real at all. And it isn't truthful at all. And it's a question you ask yourself. I no longer care to be in the fog. I've been in the fog long enough. I've learned, and I'm deeply grateful for that, on many fronts, and I'll continue to learn. Always. But I want the clarity. So I've decided to go within and to discover who and what I really am. And I know I've come to the point of knowing that I am not this body. Although the body's great because it allows us to experience physical material world. And it also allows us to discover, while in physical form, who and what we are. Now, if you leave, you leave your body, and you don't know who and what you are in the body, how are you going to know who and what you are as the God? How? You won't. This is why we follow the light. You've heard me say this before. But why do we do that? Because we've been programmed in physical form. And when we're in physical form, we've been programmed to believe that that's what you do. It's what others have said you do. Go into the light, follow the light. And the reason we do that is because we don't know that we are the light. We don't know that. We haven't learned that. We didn't learn it as children in the thousands of lifetimes that we've had. How are we going to learn it? How are we going to discover it? We choose to. We begin to believe. We begin to believe who and what we are isn't the body. Who and what we are is so much more. And then we begin to discover. And we go deeper within. And we embrace all of our worries, our stresses, our fears, and all of the things we've been carrying with us for lifetimes. We will. And when you embrace them, full body hug. And you ask them, what is it that you need? Why are you hanging around? Could it be love? I love you. What is it? You find that all of this stress, worries, and fears, and whether it's hatred, anger, however you've been conditioned or programmed, will literally vanish. It'll just leave. It won't exist because it was all an illusion to begin with. And the only reason it does that is because you step away from the mind and ego. You step away. How do you do that? You leave them alone. You leave them alone. And you watch. Ego is a great teacher because we can watch the thoughts it brings in. We can watch how it manipulates, directs, misdirects, distracts, conditions, program. So we're watching it, but we're not interacting with it. As we watch, we learn. Then we're able to identify ego mind thoughts that come in, which are not ours. They're not our thoughts. We send thoughts out. Thoughts come in because they're coming from another source, and it isn't you. Can you imagine the billions upon billions upon billions of souls, gods that were in bodies on this planet? Where do you think all their thoughts are? They're here. Yeah. You think they take their thoughts with them? No, they stay here. We're swimming in other people's thoughts, literally swimming in them. This is why there's so much confusion. This is why there's so much diversity. Why we have 50, 60,000 different religions and growing. Okay? Well, I don't believe the way they believe, so I'm going to start my own. That's what's been happening. Year after year after year. Does it help? Not really. Does it misdirect and misguide? Yes. Does it distract? Absolutely. It keeps us from discovering who and what we are within these bodies. You will know that whenever you're coerced or directed or influenced to look outside of yourself, and then it's false. It's a complete illusion. Many fall for it and do it. We'll put it this way. Right in this very now moment, every one of us are the most powerful, I guess you could call us biomagnetic energy sources. Scientifically, our bodies and minds are a biomagnet computer, and that is continuously communicating continuously, 24/7, with this universe. We're this huge beacon where our thoughts and emotions are constantly being sent out as signals for contracting or contacting similar types of people, circumstances, and experiences. We're super powerful energy. We have like a biomagnetic sphere of energy that surrounds us. What do we call it? Well, we call it the shine, the glow, the aura. And it creates a measurable signal showing the type of energy that we're sending out into this universe. It is always communicating a frequency through our emotional state about what we want and what we do not want to manifest into our lives. And if you really are curious enough, you say, I'd like to see my aura. And you remember, you see it through the heart mind, not the ego mind. Yeah, I've seen it through the years when we would take pictures of people's auras. And of course they want to know what the colors mean. And the ego mind's there, see, so, well, you know, this orange means that you're learning a lot right now, that you're in learning mode. Well, how come I'm not purple, or the purple, which means I'm highly spiritual? See, it gets very convoluted because of the ego mind. And we've been using this 1939, we started using Kirlian photography. Kirlian photography. K-I-R-L-I-A-N. Kirlian photography. And what does this identify? That it physically proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there is a real, tangible, magnetic field of energy that surrounds us all the time. All the time. Doesn't come and go, doesn't deplete, all the time. Now, what did the photo show us? Because people, there's so many pessimists and, cynics. Oh, yeah, I've heard that's that new age, new crap, everything. I'm not interested in that. It's all hooey. The photos show our strongest emotions radiate at certain colors or frequencies all around our body. And this energy is what connects with the like-minded atoms in this universe, which eventually manifest our ideas into our reality. Take this even deeper. It has been found out that through research, taken research further, it has been found that the biomagnetic aura of an immature immature tree leaf, match the full-grown size that the leaf will become later in life. When the leaf reaches its full-grown size, the previous documented aura is exactly the same size as the older leaf. We are just like these leaves in that we emanate the particular thought, vibrational energy that we will one day grow into. And it is good to know that for the rest of our lives, we are creating this magnetic energy field that will constantly be working on attracting our future life to us. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy, slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. The experience you're having right now is exactly the experience you need for the spiritual awakening you're here to have. Simply allow for this experience. Give it space to come through you. Relax. Realize it is all divine. Just say, ah. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and fall and morning. We will return here Tuesday, February 27, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's happening within or outside of you.